Okay. So thanks a lot, my brother. Brother Chris Thomas, appreciate you, man. We have, of course, novelist Neil Owens on, all the way from High Point, North Carolina. And man, you got that new book, Perch, to come out in August, The Rise and Fall of the Fourth Reich.
Fourth right, yeah.
Fourth Reich. I had to get it right. Last time I said the Third Reich. I know it's one of them got to be right. But yeah, man, it looks good. I saw the red cover and everything. I like the cover of the book, and I saw where you're going to be in the what's that? The inner not inner harbor. What's
Yeah,
it called?
I'm gonna be at the National Harbor, the Mahogany Bookstore at the National Harbor in right outside DC.
Yeah, man, I want to get down to that. I've been there before, but I haven't been to that bookstore though.
Oh yeah, they opened it. They got that's their second store. 'Cause they had one in Anacostia in Southeast DC, so they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
opened up a second store in
Okay.
at the National Harbor. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, my wife went there in Anacostia High, and so
Oh,
we
okay. She
know
went to
where that is.
Anacostia. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she went there in Anacostia, graduate there. Yeah, and so yeah, man, I'm gonna get down and check that out. That looks great. You know. Good stuff. But anyhow, so for the folks who are just tuned in to the first time, this is the Writers Wordshop. I'm Nathaniel Gadsden, and we founded the Writers Wordshop back in 1977. We come on every Friday night here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg, with Brother Chris Thomas, and we appreciate all that he does for all of us. And it was, I don't want to say special guest, he's just one of the family at this point. That's Brother Neil Owens. Neil Owens is really the man that makes it happen here. Appreciate you coming on every week, man, that you can. And Neil has a wonderful book coming out. He has a couple of books really in the works, but especially there's one that's coming out in August. And I'm gonna ask Brother Neil to tell everybody about it, man. In fact, I don't know if Brother, there you go. See, Chris is on it, man. He's gonna show us the cover right now. Okay. I know that's what's coming up. Let me see here. There it goes. Wow, nice. Very nice. Man, okay. Tell us about it, Neil.
Yeah. It's a story at the end of World War II. There were Nazi war criminals. They migrate. Some of them went into Spain
Mm-hmm.
because Spain was the type of country, was sort of autocratic country as well. So they
Yeah.
went into Spain and they started plotting the Fourth Reich.
Mm-hmm.
And the CIA approached them and recruited them to be spies and consultants because communism was spreading across Europe and it became the biggest threat to the United States of America. So they wanted
Yeah.
those guys to work for them as spies and consultants. And so they migrated into the American political system and
Mm-hmm.
found comfort in the far right wing of the American Eagle
Mm-hmm.
and plotted their attack on rising the Fourth Reich through politics.
Now you said the far right wing of the American Eagle.
The far right, yeah, the far right wing of the American Eagle. What people know of Trump supporters,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here
the
we
Trump
go.
world. Yeah.
Ultra conservatives,
Right,
the
that's right.
megas and all that stuff, trying to take
All
us
of
back
that,
to time.
all of that, that
Okay.
whole process.
Mm-hmm.
That's very that's not. It's people think it's new, but it's not new. I mean, America first,
Right.
all that goes back.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it
yeah, this is
does. Yes,
what
it does.
happened, and so they try to. Of course, they raised Nazism in America, and they want
Mm-hmm.
Jews out of the country, and they want blacks out of the country. They want everybody who is
Mm-hmm.
non-white out of the country. And so
Neil.
so it becomes a civil war, and it's about how uh, the African Americans lead the
Mm-hmm.
other American citizens to battle
Mm-hmm.
these neo Nazis.
I remember not that long ago. It seems like a long time ago, but it was 2016 when Trump was first elected, right?
Right.
And I remember in 2016, 2017, we had a lot of marches here in Harrisburg, and it was the Nazis, and they got permits to march down to the Capitol steps. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember how they blocked it off and all that kind of stuff. They thought it was gonna be a lot of trouble. So, as being a member of the World Affairs Council, Hey, and there she goes. Being a member of the World Affairs Council, got a chance to, participate in some events that would counter to this Nazi marching. But we drove down there just to see what's going on. I mean, they had a parade, man. A bunch of people came in from all over the country. I don't know if anything happened in your area like that. Let me ask Ro. Ro, how you doing? Uh-oh, you're on there you go.
I said, I'm well. How are you?
I'm well as well. Do you
You
remember
look
when,
sick, bro. You
yeah,
okay?
Hey, now. No, I'm fine. My desk is over here by the air conditioning unit, and it's cold over here.
Oh, okay.
oh, the way you were leaning, I said, oh, she ain't feeling too good.
No,
Okay, all
I
right.
feel well. I'm just,
Good to see the smile. Okay.
yeah, I'm
Do you
good.
remember, Ro, when we had the marches and stuff up here when the Nazis and all these other groups came together, marched
Yeah,
down
I
the Capitol
do remember.
steps? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
People tend to forget, I mean, so your book is right on time, man, in terms of what happened and what can happen if we're not careful, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you see Neil's cover, Ro, when you were
No, I
coming in?
didn't.
Okay, I don't know,
Did you
Brother
see
Chris
it?
can pull that up again because I really like that cover.
I missed it. No, I want to see. I want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, Brother Chris can pull that up again as we
Just
go
give me two
down.
seconds here. My computer's running a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
slow. Give
take
me
your
two
time,
seconds
brother.
here.
Take your time. Yeah, but
I
brother, take
forgot
your right
today.
on.
I forgot today was Friday. I been off for the holiday, and it was weird. I was like, oh, today's Friday.
Let me tell you something. I thought all yesterday was Saturday, and I was preparing for my sermon today. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Did
I
you?
got a sermon
Did
in
you
me.
finish?
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's nice.
Uh-huh.
Colors jump out at you, and it makes you want to pick it up and read it. The swastika on the American flag, that's deep.
Yeah, I'll
Talk
say.
about that, brother.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Fourth Reich is Nazism's coming right out of America.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's the ploy. That's what something that started. Like I said, it started. This is a fictional book.
Right.
It's just imagination that feels real because there's a lot of historical issues that relate to that because these things did happen.
There you go. Yeah, I like that.
The Nazis were recruited by the CIA
Mm.
to be spies and consultants because of their
Yeah.
expertise on the Soviet Union. They were fighting against communism. You know, back then how big communism was and how they were really going crazy over trying to knock out communism. So it was a big piece. And these people came in and they found a spot. See,
Well,
this is the kind of thing. What? So you wonder why Nixon? I mean, that was his name. Trump is so popular because he's a German. His ancestry is German. His grandfather is a migrant from Germany, and so he's right in line with what they did. They had a group called back then called the Bund. It was BUND, and they were very powerful, wealthy American citizens with German, heritage. And you had to be, and that they were a part of that group that formed all this stuff called the American. I mean, it's a lot. Charles Lindbergh, you probably know about Charles Lindbergh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a Nazi sympathizer and all this. I mean, it's a whole bunch of stuff. He did a lot of stuff, man. And and so it's like all the stuff that was going on back then, and it kept moving along. And you kind of like wonder, say, what is going on here? Why? Because like you said, it's just like with Nixon. It's like what Nixon was doing. It's like, why did Nixon have these people, Haldeman and Ehrlichman?
Hey.
They was Germans, man.
Yeah.
And then came, behind him, they came, what was that, Reagan? And he had Schultz and Weinberger. All Germans, man. But nobody really paid attention to it, because everyone, that's what they were. And they were all working to do their different stuff. And one of the things that got by a lot of people is that Reagan, he went to the cemetery where the Nazis the SS was buried and laid a wreath. That's an actual fact.
Wow.
But it slipped through a lot of it got on the news, but a lot of people didn't really pay much attention to it. But yeah, he went to that cemetery where the Nazis was buried. The SS, not just the Nazi, but the SS.
Yeah, which was like the elite.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Them was the real hardcore devils.
Cast was assassins.
Right, absolutely.
Absolutely, yep. No
He
question.
laid a wreath. He laid a wreath there.
That's one of the reasons why it's so difficult when you hear some of our young people, in particular, they don't know because they don't know this history and they see all the stuff happening, but it's just Trump. No, this is well thought out. What's his name? Banyan, who's now in prison. They say he's the architect behind most of this stuff.
Yeah, Banyan.
And,
I mean, because they come from their fathers and all that. I mean, this is a long long stretch history. I mean, this is something that's been in the works, man, for a long time.
And the crazy part about it is 60 Minutes did a really deep piece on Banyan and all that he's doing and how he's much more dangerous than Trump could even possibly be. And he was in the White House with Trump.
Yeah.
Trump couldn't take it because that guy's too strong, So Trump let him go. This guy's over there. He's architecting this crap all over the world. And they just took a major defeat in Europe. The Conservative Party lost big time to the Labor Party. And that's like a setback, So folks don't understand it. This isn't just about the United States. It's about a conservative movement. Take the time back, And it sounds like you've really done your homework in terms of, putting the story together, man.
Yeah, and that's what the book is about. It's about a worldwide approach. So it's not. It's about them investing money into political campaigns in other countries. In Europe and in South America, they put their money in there behind these conservative candidates to get them to do these certain things that they want to do.
Yeah.
So and it's seen how it's all playing out now, just like the Supreme Court. You got the conservatives on the Supreme Court, and what did they do, man? They have given this man immunity.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. And
they made him like a king.
Well, if he becomes next president, he got it wrapped up, man. They said there are 4 things he needed to accomplish, and if he becomes president, he will have completed his mission because he will be unchecked. He can't run again, according to the Constitution as it is.
But there will be no Constitution. He will be president until he dies.
That's right.
There won't be any Constitution. The Constitution will be totally removed. He's already said he's going to remove the Constitution. He's already working on removing it. He's already doing things that he should be in prison now, but he's not.
No.
And so it's like, because there's a lot of people.
Yeah. But he has the court stacked, man. They said this woman in Florida, she's out of her mind. I mean, she's doing everything she can to slow down the process. And, so they probably just bar her somewhere down the line, but she don't care.
She don't
position herself to be vice president.
And she getting the envelope. I mean, they handing her an envelope under the table, so she's getting paid. So this is what's happening.
I think all of them are.
Yeah, they all are. I mean, that's what they are. I mean, it's like it's coming out now about Clarence Thomas and all this stuff.
Man, you took the words out of my mouth. Clarence. How about the other guy? They both blame him on the wife, though. Flying the flag upside down. Well, my wife did that.
Oh yeah, that's Lito. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
I mean, it's out there, man. These people letting you know what they are, what's happening, and we can't be sitting around, playing games like I saw this black preacher talking about, man. It's time to come together.
That's right.
And we got to stop this thing, man, because these jokers, man, are serious.
They're very serious.
And they on the move, and they got total control. And if so, these people sitting around here worrying about how old Biden is and all this kind of stuff.
I know.
They better deal with that. You got these 2 choices. You got this man, you got this man. And Trump is going to take away your freedom, which is your civil rights.
He's trying
your voting rights. All that's going to be gone.
But like this lady said today, she said, we keep saying Trump. Said it take a whole lot of people to do this. She said, so don't think it's just Trump. Whole bunch of people involved in this thing. And we started talking about that Green, what's her name? Something Green, whatever.
Margie,
out of her mind. Then you got the speaker. This guy's he's in Trump's corner.
They all
Trump's
right.
pocket,
He's got them lined up. He's got them all lined up.
That's right. Hey, look, let me change the subject for a minute here. I'm sure we can get back to that. I'm going to tell everybody right now, you can do it if you want to, but if you don't go see that movie called Sound of Hope, I'm telling you, it is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. And it's a true story about Black folks who adopted Black kids. And they could adopt any kids, but especially Black kids. This is a true story. The story of Possum Trot. That's the name of the actual town. And it's been featured. I heard the story before, but it's been featured on everything. 60 Minutes so bit. And I guess I just didn't pay enough attention to it. The movie is so good that if you don't cry at that movie, I don't know, you must be dead. And the acting I thought was fantastic. I think the story is just out of sight. It's a Christian-based movie. So a lot of people might say, oh, Christian, no. I mean, it's drama. It's well done all the way through. And the good news is they show you the real people at the end of the movie and all that stuff. So it's a real movie, real story. And it's something that, why isn't that on the front page? Why don't we all know about this? Well, they said, well, we told us, no, you didn't. You told the story a little bit. When they really want to push something, they push it. But I'm going to say it again, Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot. And it's PG-13, 2 hours and 15 minutes, worth every single second of it. I didn't know anything about it. My wife said, oh, I'd like to go see this movie. I said, okay, cool. Yeah, it's all of that. It really is. I was really glad they caught that, Hope the people really turn out for it. We turn out for Tyler Perry. I mean, everybody else, and I'm, not knocking that at all. But, seriously, I mean, Tyler's cool. Yeah, he got nothing against it. He makes it. If people don't want to see it, they don't have to. But when you see something like this, though, I'm telling you, yeah, really, really good stuff. And a lot of people that you may not be familiar with in terms of actors and all that. I got the sense that not everybody on that screen was an actor. They were real people who just simply, did the movie.
It's more like a documentary, though.
No, not at all. It's a drama. It's something that you will want to see. Not a documentary at all. It's a drama. It's a serious drama, and it's seriously well done. I was like, wow. I mean, I don't know how many times I teared up in that bad boy. I was like, oh my goodness, And everybody in the movie was looking at each other, sheesh. And the people we stand, clap and stand ovation at the end. It was just really well done. So anyhow, and I hope that young people see it too. Hope a lot of young people see it and check it out. Not a documentary, not even close. But anyhow, Sound of Hope.
Sound of Hope.
It's a Christian movie, man. All Christians should see it. All people who believe in God ought to see that movie. And then also, all people who think that you ought to do something in this life rather than just talk. Okay, ought to see that movie. I mean, you got to do something before you die. And that's what that movie is all about. It's really, I don't want to tell you what it's all about, but you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's well done. Yeah. Well done. But anyhow, that's my little commentary for that. And again, I know it's at the Regal Theater. I don't know where else it's playing, but here in Harrisburg is at the Regal. And we saw it yesterday at 3:30. And then there was another one like a 6 or something like that. I just hope people really pay attention and go out and, because they take them out real quickly if people aren't coming to see it. By the way, do you know that 2 movies, one they keep talking about the Inside Out Part 2, which is an excellent movie. It's animated and, it's supposed to be for children, but really the first one I said, this isn't for children. It's really well done. It talks about emotions and it uses cartoons to do it. But man, did that thing take off. Well, the second one that's out now, which I haven't seen, everybody in my family seen it, said that it's already made well over $1 billion. It's talking about how fast it went. It's the highest grossing animated movie ever that quickly. And then it said, oh, and by the way, Bad Boys 4, whatever it is, that made over $1 billion also. That is really well done too. So Will Smith has come back with a vengeance. Him and which is Martin Lawrence. They've come back with a vengeance. And so, yeah, good stuff. Anyhow, good stuff. We're going to get back to Brother Neil Owens and talk more about his book, but I want to turn it over to Sister Ro Brady. I know you got some things cooking as well. And I think you have a book coming out, or it already came out. Tell us about it, Ro.
Oh, Coco June and Melanin came out maybe, I guess it's been maybe 3 weeks ago.
Well, let's see if we can pull up that thing too, if Brother Chris can possibly find it. I guess that would be on your Facebook page.
Yeah, it's on my Facebook page. I think I sent it to him last week, the cover.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, maybe you can just pull up so we can people have never not seen it, when you had it on last week and see it now. But the title again, I like again, and the title is
It's Coco, June, and Melanin, Poems from a
Coco
Black
June
Woman's
and Melanin.
Diaspora.
Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah. And you did say about the diaspora, which I thought was cool too. Yeah. And it's your poetry book though, right?
It's poetry and short story. There's two short
Wonderful.
stories at the end.
Okay. Good. Fantastic. Yeah. So, and what made you, this is your second poetry book?
Yes, it's my second one.
Second one, okay. Because you mostly write novels. And do you have anything in the works for a novel?
Actually, I'm just finishing up clients' novels right now. My client Hajir, I am like 3 chapters away from being completed.
Okay, wonderful. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so I've been doing that. I don't know. I feel like I'm going back to my first love of the short story.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's where I really
The
started
quick-
writing with short stories.
yeah,
I have written 2 new ones, but they're inklings of my thoughts right now. They're completed, but I haven't even begun to think about typing them. They are just written in a notebook.
okay. Well, I
Yeah.
think Brother Chris has caught your, there you go.
Yeah, that was from my
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Yeah,
Yeah, Queenie's been giving me all these amazing graphics. So she
I
did
saw
that
that.
graphic. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Absolutely. I gotta get to Queenie when our project is done too. Because I haven't talked to Queenie in a while. We gotta get Queenie back on there. Tell her to stop by every now and then,
I
man. Boy,
know. She'll
she
be going back
disappeared
to
on us.
school.
Yes,
But in a little while, she'll be going back to teaching. So
oh, okay.
I gotta try to get her on before the summer's over.
Yeah, really, absolutely. I thought she stepped out of the classroom, was doing administration.
Well, she does. She's the ISS teacher, so she's not a classroom teacher anymore, but she's still in the classroom. She's just not teaching. She's doing the
Yeah, that's
this
good.
now. Yeah.
And you're still studying yourself?
Well, right now I am doing children's theater at Cross Point.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be just for the summer.
Where's
Camp,
Cross Point, by the way? Cross Point, is that a church?
it's a church, but they have a huge child care center. And they had an ad on Indeed, a few months ago looking for someone who would create something. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting ad. So I called and they were looking for somebody who could do something different. And I said, well, I did children's theater before. And they were like, yeah. So that's what I'm doing this summer.
That's excellent. Good for you. Good for you. By the way, let me say this also, in case anyone catches this, and I have no idea if it's still open. But at one point, I know that the United Methodist Neighborhood Center, located there at 3rd and Kelter Street, was looking for an executive director. The salary looked pretty good, by the way, and that is a wonderful organization. And so apparently, they've been searching far and wide for a good executive director. If you are interested or know someone who is, I would jump on it. If I was a little bit younger, I might jump on it myself. I love that building. Where our church used to be there. In fact, the Writers Wordshop was there for over close to 10 years, I believe. So I have a fond memories of the. Say it again.
What's the name of the building?
The United Methodist Neighborhood Center.
Oh, okay.
At the 3rd and Kelper. Yeah. When they first had the first, oh boy, what was it used to be called? The African Family Festival. But the first 2 were held at the United Methodist Neighborhood Center, and they packed it out so much so that Mayor Reed came along and said, "Oh, we're going to put this up in Reservoir Park," because people came from everywhere for that thing. And then also they had a really good Juneteenth celebrations there as well. When they had what was her name, the executive director? She was really good. When she left, it kind of faded a little bit. But anyhow, the United Methodist Neighborhood Center is a nice facility. They have a wonderful board, and it's right smack dab in the neighborhood, and it's really been one of the anchor, organizations up there in that particular part of the city for years. So anyhow, a lot of history to that. Yeah, we were there every Friday night for about, like I said, 8 to 10 years. So it was a long time, that's for sure. And our little church, when we first started, we started in our house, and then we moved to the United Methodist Neighborhood Center in their chapel. And then we moved to their more, like they call it the rec room, whatever you call that, more like a gym kind of thing, because we outgrew the chapel. And then we moved from there. But a lot of fond memories of the neighborhood center. Yeah. Yep. So having said all of that, one thing now, Neil, you mentioned you're gonna have your book signing there in DC, what's the date again on that?
August 3rd.
Okay, I hope we
Oh,
can
my
get that.
birthday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, good. 21 again. Go ahead, roll. I like it.
Yep, you're right. Yep, 21.
21 again. Go ahead now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I hope we can get down, man. I like to see if wife and I can come down for that. I've never been to that bookstore, first off, so that'd be good. And then to come down and support you, yeah. I'd like to try to make that happen. August 3rd. That's a Saturday, of course, right?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
from 11 to 2.
11 to 2. Okay. All right. Yeah, we still have she has a lot of family down that way, and not, yeah, good. Yeah. And Ro, did you have your book signing yet? Did you do a book signing?
No, I haven't done one. I've reached out to Julia Mallory, because she just opened up 10, what is it? What is it?
Yeah,
1006 on North 3rd Street.
yeah,
So
1006 North
gonna
3rd,
be
yeah.
there. And then I have feeders out with Ashley over at the Heart and Soul bookstore.
Mhm.
I was gonna actually try to do one on my birthday, but then it's not accessible, so Thea wouldn't be able to come. So I was trying to do it after my birthday, and she
Have you
hasn't.
thought about Midtown?
No, I haven't really thought about Midtown. I was thinking about maybe yeah, I just looked at those two places. Midtown Scholar.
Midtown's jumping. Midtown Bookstore is really jumping. And so they've had a lot of authors there, of course, nationally known authors and all that.
Yeah,
But if they would decide to do it, you just have guaranteed foot traffic at a place like that,
yeah,
Um,
that's true.
I don't know what their rates are and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, check them out. Yeah, Midtown Scholar.
Yeah, and it's accessible too.
It really is. That's what I was thinking of. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. There's another place too. Well, no, that would be better because the other place I'm thinking of, you have to have people come. With Midtown, the people automatically are coming, so you wouldn't have to worry about foot traffic. The other thing is Barnes and Noble. They do some book signings there.
Yeah,
I've done one there before, so across the river there. And once again,
yeah,
foot
not too
traffic.
far from Barnes and Noble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right down.
I wanted to do the poetry reading too, so maybe Midtown Scholar. Because
I think Scholar would be ideal for you. Yeah, I think that'd be
yeah,
good. Mhm.
yeah. So far, Julia told me to check with her on July the 10th,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I'm still waiting for Ashley to get back to me.
Okay. Yeah, but that store, I love the store, don't get me wrong, but it's so small. And that's the only thing that I would, for a book signing, well, you should do one there too. But I would just think that both of you got major writing styles and you just want to get maximum audience exposure.
That's
So yeah. Yep. Well, anyhow, so good stuff, good stuff. Um, Real quick, there was speaking of just Rose, since I have you tell us about the current issue of the Black Wall Street.
Oh, yeah, we're working on it on August edition right now. The theme for August is back to college.
Mhm.
So I've lined up a couple of college students in different, areas of their college career. I have a graduate student who is majoring in neuroscience at Penn
Mhm.
State, and then I
Send this
have
message here.
Mhm.
a student who is going to Thaddeus
Yeah,
Stevens. It's
he
trade
didn't
school.
even. Then he
Okay.
asked again. He said,
Oh, look at those
"What time
cuties.
works best for me to
Oh,
talk to the boys this weekend?" mean, he complaining about the shoes. I mean,
we
about
can hear
things.
you, we can hear you,
The car's here. It's right here. I'll send it to you.
hey, Neil.
I'm
Yeah, we can hear
sorry.
you. That's okay, yeah,
Let me
you
mute
good?
myself.
Okay, yeah, there you go,
Oh, they're so cute though.
yeah. It must be, there you go, okay. Yeah, so anyhow, but yeah, no, now, how about July? Did July come out yet?
Yeah, July should be out. Yeah. We were over, I was gonna go have lunch with a friend of mine at Peachtree, but it was closed today. So usually you
Yeah,
can find them. That's the number one spot that I always get them at is Peachtree. They also have them down at the Sunoco on 3rd Street. They have them at the Yellow Bird on what's the street of Yellow Bird is on?
yeah, is that Green Street? Or
Yes,
is that, I think it
no,
might be
it's
Green.
Newtown. The Yellow Bird is in Newtown. They have them in a couple of
Oh,
different places, but those are the places that I kind of like frequent because I'm always in Midtown. So
yeah,
I kind
I
of
always
grab
get them
them
at the,
there.
Front Street Diner.
Yeah, they have them there too.
Yeah, Front Street
I'm
Diner, yeah,
hardly ever there. I mean, like every now and then I'll go over to grab them off of the counter off of the what do you call it? The Yellow Bird.
but they also have them over at the, my cleaners, what is it called? Anyhow, the cleaners there on 3rd Street.
Yeah,
Yeah, classic dry cleaners,
yeah,
they're there all
classic
the time,
has them
yeah,
too.
classic. So anyhow, so they're out, so I was down on Front Street today and I didn't see them. And then yesterday we were there as well, so yeah, I was there,
Mhm.
I said, okay. But anyhow, you keep looking, I'm sure that,
It should be out by now today.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but with
if
the
not,
holiday, it might have
yeah,
delay. And
right.
I'm sure tomorrow, I mean, today they have probably been out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll check them out. Okay. Well, for anybody that's listening, check out the, issues called Black Wall Street. It's a free publication and keeps you informed, And yeah, we're actually working on some a couple students as well that I have in mind to write about for the August issue. And so I hope to get those done pretty
Yeah.
soon. Yep. Absolutely. Back to school, back to college. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
good thing. And also, I haven't talked to Nicole Wilkerson, but her book is out. It's about HBCUs. And so I'm gonna see if I can get her to either I'll interview her or try to get her to write an article about her book, which is
Yeah,
really
that would be
good.
great.
Yeah, she's really trying to market that and get it out there. She's a graduate of Howard University, HBCU, of course. And so, yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but I know Brother Neil will be joining us back again. So let's talk a little bit about, let me mention this magazine. I think I've mentioned it before. Uh, time to time. Every now and then, this only comes out, I think maybe quarterly. I gotta look at that, but anyhow, it's called African Voices. And this is the summer fall issue. And this was an old one here. I mean, I just got the more recent one, but 2022. And it's just such an excellent magazine. It publishes a lot of poetry in it and has a lot of great stories and information about, just what we're doing as a people. And so I've submitted before, but one of the things I want to do more readily is submit more work here. I'll hold it up just a little bit, see some of it. Yeah, there you go. But colorful pictures, a lot of great storytellers, a lot of great poetry in here from all over. And it comes out of New York, you know. Yeah, and so I would highly recommend African Voices. I think is one of the premier Black magazines in terms of literary writing for poets in particular. And there's some fiction in here too. I'm looking at Celeste Ritter Baker wrote a piece, not a long piece here. That's good, and it's called "Now I Got Girl." Now I got girl. That's the name. Okay, fiction piece. All right. And so anyhow, if you haven't heard about it, I'm sure if you go online and check it out, African Voices. And this is the 30th anniversary, by the way, in 2022. So it's been around for a while. Okay, it's been publishing and doing the work for a while. I first saw it at the African Harlem Book Fair, and that's when I picked it. And plus, I knew the brother think was the original publisher. This was a brother named Ladine. And Ladine, I can't call his full name, but he came to Harrisburg, master poet, by the way. His stuff was so tight. And Dave Waters and his wife Lois had a bookstore, and they brought him in. And I remember hearing this brother, I thought, wait a minute, this cat is cooking. And so then we got to know each other and stuff. And he introduced me to this as well. But let me see if he's even still listed here. Anyhow, got a lot of good people. The publisher now is Carolyn A. Butts, and at least she was in 2022. The poetry editor is Laura Renee Tucker. Okay, so hey, Now, also, Ron, I know with your business, one of the things I'm really interested in doing and getting started, pretty soon here is the doing a newsletter. I was doing a magazine, and that was kind of, up and down. I really like it, but it was kind of fluttering. And I thought, maybe I'll just, and you never tried a magazine before, have you?
Have I ever tried to do a magazine?
Yeah, to do a magazine.
Oh no, not other than doing it with Jenny. No.
Yeah, I mean, like doing it online, the online magazine thing. I didn't know
no.
that there's a company or companies, I guess, that you buy into, and all you do is plop the information right in. And so there's a cost, and I had actually bought into it, not knowing I was buying into it. Kind of crazy, but anyhow, it was like $150 for the year. But you have, you can put it up every month, and you just drop the stuff in, and they have a whole, whatever. But you do newsletters, and I heard you say that that's pretty, And I remember back in the day with the Writers Wordshop, we used to do newsletters.
Yeah, my July newsletter just came out.
How many pages is it?
Usually it's just one page. Yeah,
Oh,
I've
okay.
kind of gotten the format of like, well, of course, this month it was the book cover and talking about the whole process of writing a new book. Usually either I feature a new business that has something to do with books or an author. And
Can you do a newsletter that's like maybe 5 or 6 pages long?
I'm sure that I do it through constant contact. I mean, I've never really thought about doing it any longer, but yeah, your newsletter can be as long as you want it to be.
Yeah. I think when I had another person doing one for a while, she actually did a pretty good one too. The best one we ever did was when Karen Wasowski and a number of other people were, really engineering it. They just had great graphics and everything.
Oh, I'll be right back. It was called.
Oh, sure. Okay. So anyhow, but we'll be joined back again by Ro Brady and this brother Neil. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay, man. Good. Yeah, Ro said she'll be right back. She has something to do. But anyhow, yeah. So I was just talking about we were talking about Ro does newsletters, and so that's one of the things I'm going to embark on. I used to do a newsletter every month, and I was trying to do a magazine there, and it was kind of up and down. But anyhow, the newsletter is something I used to do, and I'm gonna get back to that. And so I would invite people to put stuff in and let me know what's going on and all that kind of stuff. And it won't cost a dime. We just want to get it out there, so that people be kept up as to what we're doing and what we're hoping to do in the future with the Writers Wordshop. Yeah. But anyhow, back to your book, man. So, you were, talking about that. You have any other things lined up? I know you have the, like I said, the harbor thing, but what else is lined up?
Well, that's and I'm going to be with my brother Chris on August 6th. He'll be interviewing me August 6th at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
I'll be on The Voice.
All right.
Talking about my my book and guess whatever questions he may have for me. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm just got a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of different things we're doing.
Did you ever hear anything else back? I know you were applying for something that I'd have your book recognized, and I think you.
That's September 1st. That's when we announced the winners. They announced the winners on September 1st, right? Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we got our fingers crossed for you, brother. I hope you get it, man. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. That's all right. But one of the things that we talk about writing and everything is the discipline that is needed. What's your discipline like, man? What's your routine like? So the people that are listening, with no, what does a writer do? How do you make it happen?
You make it happen, man. You have to be you have to have the passion for it.
Mm.
And some people want to do it, but that passion is what makes you do something when you don't feel like doing it.
That's right. That's right.
And so you got to have that passion, and that will drive you into enduring and going through the process. When you get frustrated, and you go through the process where you have writer's block. I mean, if for me, if I don't feel like writing, I have a writer's block, what they call it writer's block.
Yeah.
I just do other things. I just do other stuff. I just do. I don't try to force anything. I think that's the worst thing you can do is try to force it.
Yeah.
But that just make you more frustrating, and that just make it worse. So you just go on and do other things in life. Let's go about other activities and so on, and wait for it to come back. Naturally.
Yeah.
And it'll come back naturally, and you just get back into it, and you just go for it.
I agree with that.
So that's how it's with me. With me, I don't really have writer's block like that anymore. I mean, I used to have it, and I just, like I said, I just went and did other things, and and then that's come back when I've got the feel going.
There you go.
And that's it. And you just go through it. So it's writing is it starts with passion. It's a lot of commitment. It's a lot involved. You really gotta. You really have to go through a lot of things to. It's really gonna test you, man, because you're gonna get a lot of negative feedback. You're gonna get some people saying, "Oh, this is nice." You're gonna get people who you ask to do to read something and they won't read it, stuff like that. So you got a lot of different challenges.
Yeah.
But the main thing you want is someone to tell you the truth.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I mean, tell you what they honestly think. I mean, don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what you honestly think.
Okay.
And that way, I mean, that helps me.
Okay. How does that help you? Break it down.
That helps me because when you tell me what you think, I can address that. I can say, well, I can look and say, okay, yeah, I do need to do something here. Or I can say, see, you didn't, I mentioned this here, you didn't really see it. So sometimes when you're doing the writing, it's like, writers that are always making things obviously, some things is subtle. And that's a part of writing style. Sometimes authors put things subtle, just little things there for the reader to think about. For the reader to picture, for the reader to visualize. So everything is not just to give you everything laid out and break everything down A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I don't think anybody want a book like that.
No. Absolutely.
Right. So you want to go there. So those are some of the challenges. And you just gotta find your own niche and be your own reader, your own writer.
Yeah.
Don't follow the path of what everybody think you should do. I mean, just be yourself and do what is comfortable with you and in your style. And accept the constructive criticism. And if someone say, man, listen, you do this and this and that, then you need to look at it and say, okay, maybe you're right. I mean, don't be offended. Because one thing I say, man, the truth offend you, the truth isn't in you.
I like that. And everybody has their own version of the truth, right? What you see is maybe not what I see or whatever. But like you said, accept it, take it. And if it fits, use it. If it doesn't, that's okay.
Right. That's
it. It's like fish. You eat the meat, throw away the bones, man.
That's it. People are expressing their opinion. And their idea, like I say, if you take a look at it, take a look at it and say, oh, well, no, I don't really.
That's right.
Yeah, but then you say some things. You say, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
It may be a great idea.
I should do something like that.
We have a colleague named Rose. She's from Rose Galadima. She's from Nigeria, and so she was doing a presentation last week. I think this was last week, and she made this comment. She told a story, and the story is about a man and his son who were taking a donkey somewhere to sell it or something like that. And every town they went to, that people told them something else about what they should do with the donkey. First off, why are you just walking? One of y'all should be riding that donkey, That's kind of crazy, man. I was you out, and the old man put the boy up on the donkey. He said, well, I'll let the, boy. They went to the next town, and people said, are you crazy? Why would you have that boy on that donkey when you the old man? You should be the one on the donkey, And so so they switched up, and he got on the donkey. The boy was walking. They got some rustle and said, look at y'all, riding that poor donkey like that? Don't make no sense. So then they got off the donkey and decided they said, you know what? So they tied the donkey up upside down and they carried the donkey. And people were like, why you carry the donkey? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So next thing you know, they went on back to just doing whatever they wanted to do, And the moral of her whole story was, people gonna tell you this, tell you that, do what you know to do, what you feel, like you said, Neil, feel comfortable doing. If it's not for you, why you, jumping all around? You'll never write your story. You'll never do this. You'll never do that if you keep listening to everybody else, right? So that's the challenge. You want input, but at the same time, you kind of know what you like. And I know, Neil, you mentioned that you got some criticism at first when you first started writing, but you stayed the ground. You stayed your path.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, you get criticism, man. You got people that, people laughing at you and stuff and all kinds. I had a lot of criticism, and people tell me I didn't know what I was doing, and this is what you're supposed to do. And people trying to tell you to write this way and write that way, and you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. I mean, and if you're young and you don't have a lot of confidence in yourself, you get yourself drawn away into that kind of stuff. Right. And you take it, you listen to them, and you accept it, and you follow that, and you can find yourself all messed up, and you become frustrated, and you no longer want to become a writer anymore.
And because they probably don't want you to be one in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. See, that's the thing. See, that's why you don't really realize how these people are, because people are very vindictive. There's a lot of bad things out there. A lot of people are doing a lot of things, man, that right. So, that's why you have to really be your own person, and be honest with yourself. Examine yourself. The scriptures tell you to examine yourself before you take the communion. Examine yourself. See if you word. I mean, how many people really do that? Examine yourself. Examine yourself. If you ain't right, then don't you mess with it.
But not only that, Brother Chris told us that he has some videos lined up for us. He's going to talk about those frenemies and that kind of. So let's go to our first video for tonight, because I'm interested in seeing what he got laid out for us here. He got me intrigued about frenemies. First one coming up.
One day I was just minding my own business, and one of my coworkers came up to me and he was like, hey T, why you always so distant from everybody? It seems like you don't have friends. You always distant. It's like you don't let nobody get close to you. And the sad part about it was he was right. I really don't. I've seen a lot of friendships go down to the wayside, and a lot of people business be put out in Front Street. It's crazy because your best friend will probably be the one to betray you. And they say love thy neighbor. But there's no telling how many bodies they got in their backyard, because the grass sure does look good on top when the dirt is packed hard. See, me, I don't have friends. See, this terminology that we seem to believe in just doesn't seem to fit in the timeline of the generation that I was conceived in. Yeah, we cool. I'm your boy on the weekend, but as soon as I turn my back, that's when the flow boys go to creaking and the rats go to creeping, and everybody starts talking like church women do about Deacon Brown's wife as soon as the pastor goes to preaching. But we are all good people, right? When you see me, it's, hey man, how you doing? Your family good? Everything good with you? But under their breath, they mumbling how it's a bus would hit you. Wait, what was that? Nothing, man. Glad to see you doing okay. See, this is just an example of the things that tend to happen to me every single day, and I don't think it would get better even if I prayed, because the devil was an angel once upon a time. But couldn't stand the fact that God had so much shine, so why should I have faith in mankind? When they jealousy is easy to see like pale white women tan lines, and as far as I can tell, some of us have been in the sun for far too long. So am I wrong? Am I just in my feelings? Did Tony not kill Manny? Did Bishop not kill Raheem? Is this not a representation of a vivid illustration of what happens when you let your so-called friends in on your team? Or is this just a dream? I know it's not the one that died the king, but in this picture all I can see is me, just like everyone else. That's why we always gotta stop to take a selfie. So if it doesn't concern me, then it doesn't concern us. And we got gasoline-soaked bridges that are waiting to burn trust, but we want equality for everyone. But everyone ain't for everyone, cause when you're down and out, there's never anyone to help pick you up, to help carry one. But it's kinda ironic because when you die, it takes 6 people to help carry one. But amongst everyone, nobody wants to be that very one. So if I die today, I don't want you liking none of my pictures, sharing my statuses, saying I miss you. Cause when I was here, day to day, you ain't give a shit about me. Now you putting on that like you can't forget about me. And that's real. T-Law.
Go ahead. Frenemies. You know, the sad reality is so much of that is true. I mean, you know, the real friends, of course, you know who they are, but man, there's some who say that they are, you just think, okay, all right, well, let me see, do I still have it back? It happens, you know, and you got to pick and choose wisely. We tell that to these kids all the time. We work with the young, I would just say the young kids, and boy, they just, you can't tell them anything. They follow their friends to the gas chamber, you know what I mean? And then they find out that they're really not their friends. It's like, brothers, you really couldn't tell that? You know, okay. You know, working too hard. I had a young man I took out the other day, and he opened up to me and said he's been being bullied. But he's the guy that's getting in all this trouble and everything. He said, well, one of the reasons why he gets in all this trouble is because he's angry. I'm angry all the time. He said, no one's listening to me. He said, you know, and he goes to a special school, and these kids are all rough. Maybe that's one of them. He said, but they've really been picking on him. So he fights back and he does things. He said, but then when he loses it, you know. I said, and these are the guys you call friends? He said, and that's the problem. He said, and they'd take me out of that school and I get around some other people. He said, but these guys are all about just mayhem and destruction. So those are my so-called friends, but I can't trust them, you know? He said, I always feel like I'm being bullied by them. They pick on me. That's just a sad, you know? So anyhow, it's a downer, but it's part of that stuff is true. You know, part of it's true. Yeah, so anyhow, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. And brother, well, I see you muted there, but brother Neil, what you think?
I think, I mean, I like the theme, and I'm glad he threw that theme out there today, because it's very, very relevant, and it is so true and so real about friends. You know,
The wrong friends.
The so-called friends, yeah.
Yeah.
The so-called friends, the pretenders, and you know, and that's and I guess those are lessons that you have to teach your children. You teach your youth, because they need to know that too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people, that's what you talked about, as you mentioned, as a person trying to write, and people giving them all this kind of crazy feedback, maybe because they want them to fail. You know, there's sometimes you think these people are your friends, they doing certain things they want you to fail. What it may lead you to. And a lot of it is driven by envy and jealousy.
Yes. And it's hard to see that, because you know, you're thinking these are the people that they're looking at you like, do they talk about you behind your back, or oh yeah, he's doing such and such, but you know. Oh yeah, man, that's real. Now, you know, that flip side is that brother, he sounded like a real you know, he said I have no friends. I mean, and you know, that and that's a two-way street when you get there. When you get to that point, it's like, well, you may need to examine yourself a little bit too. But anyhow, you know, you're looking in the wrong places, you're hanging with the wrong people, something, when you can't find no trust in nobody. I mean, that's you know, that's some crazy stuff there. But the truth of the matter is, you can surround yourself by some people who, and the movie I mentioned, by the way, you'll see a dimension of that in there, which I thought was really well done, just the way they kind of played that out. But it's true. I mean, and again, that's a true story that they, talked about. But yeah, you'd be surprised who is the person that's gonna, you think they're in your corner, but when push comes to shove, you know, they're telling all your business. They'll be talking about, well, I mean, I always thought, and wait a minute, I thought you were supposed to be, oh yeah, that's my boy, that's my girl. But, well, what's that but about? You know? So yeah. But anyhow, make it just what do you call it? Food for thought. Food for thought. We don't agree with every aspect of anything, but it makes you think. Really does. And I have seen that played out so much with young guys. In fact, it was a famous movie actor who got highballed, or what they call hotballed. They killed him, and because they thought that he was playing a double role. He was trying to expose and give these guys a voice, guys who are really out there, the street boys talking all this stuff, which he used to be one of them. But now he's kind of made it. So he caught himself going back home and say, hey man, well, tell your story. And so he's giving them the camera and all that. And next thing you know, they just spread the rumor around. He was really working with like the FBI or somebody. And next thing you know, they're going off the brother. And everybody said, oh man, he's back on drugs. No, he wasn't back on drugs at all. They highballed him. And by the way, I'm glad they caught the guys who did it, caught the guys who did it and really, hopefully cleared his name up. So what'd you think of that piece, Ro? I saw you kind of looking a little bit. It was a downer, but at the same time, what'd you think?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I look at something I was reading, I think on IG or Facebook, where they were talking about being able to fully express yourself regardless of whether it be positive or negative. So I looked at it that way. It's like, here in the United States, we do have the freedom to express ourselves, whether it be positive or negative, as long as we're not bringing harm to anyone else. So I looked at it that way. I mean, it for me, it was a bit of a downer, but
It's a downer, yeah.
yeah, he had a right to express himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My part for him and my concern for him was what he said he had no friends. When you
Yes,
get to the
that's what
point
I
where
was.
everybody can't trust it. Yeah.
I
I'm not
kind of
with that
thought
one.
like, where is your, like, because I always look at poetry as an expression of what's inside of you. I write about the whole like Black woman's narrative because I'm a Black woman.
Yeah.
But when somebody, like when kids say, oh, I have no friends, nobody likes me, I kind of always puts a red flag up for me, like self-esteem issues, mental health issues. So that's where I kind of felt, like how are you separating yourself from what your poetry is putting out?
Yeah, part of it is when they say when you meet people who are dealing with a lot of trauma. It sounds like he has some trauma in his life. That, you instead of asking what's wrong with you, they ask what happened to you. And a lot of times people are speaking out of a context that they don't want to say out loud. So they frame it in such a way that, they're just telling you their pain, which he did. He was telling us his pain. But you wonder what did his frenemies do to him? What was the breaking point for him? Because he was back on the road all by himself. I'm like, I guess somebody was holding the camera, but he was making it, real dramatic by being on that road, that lonely road.
And that's what I thought was like, wow, even your setting is kind of desolate.
Yeah. It was dark.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah. I would hope that those are the young people that I see way too often. When we had these little groups once a week here, really good. I mean, there's some kids in there that are bright and this and that, but they're not expressing the light side of them, the bright side of them, the genius of them, because they're a den of folks who will tear you apart. They're going to tease you and everything else under the sun. And a lot of them are really, really, really deep down into that dark space where that guy is. You can't trust nobody or no nothing, And that's why they have the ankle monitors on. That's why they have the sentences coming up. That's why they will probably be, inmate number 44551 before we know it. Unfortunately, this is the truth, In fact, out of that group, one of the kids that recently shot and killed somebody in the city of Harrisburg came out of that group, And so this is what it is. Yeah. I didn't know that there was a killing this morning in Harrisburg. I didn't know that. They said, somebody got shot and killed. I heard about it and you chance to really, do the news. But by the way, real quick, and I know, everybody's been talking about this, this is the second year in a row that the big fireworks display that we've had for years here in Harrisburg just kind of blew up into a whole bunch of mayhem and destruction. Last night, they said somebody screamed that someone had a gun and a couple fights broke out. And then the cops were literally chasing people on foot. And the mayor of the city of Harrisburg, Wanda Williams, was sitting with her family and got knocked over because these kids were running and running through, and they ran right into her, knocked over, and she got bruised up a little bit, they said. And then the chief of police, he stopped the fireworks completely, sent everybody home. They said it was just getting out of hand. So that's just a shame. And that's young boys, just doing their thing, making no sense whatsoever. But yeah, what can you do? So anyhow, that's what that's all about. So, and I just want to say to the young people out there, there's a lot to do with yourself. Write a book, tell a story, write a poem, do something, man, do something constructive. If you got to be real deep, dark, look what that brother just did. I mean, I don't know who the brother is, but he expressed himself. He had the right to express himself, and he did it in a very constructive way, as opposed to going out here hurting somebody. I mean, come on, yeah.
Yeah, but writing is very cathartic too. I mean, it could have been something that he did in the past that is helping him release from whatever he was going through,
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. Very good point. Yeah, I think for all of us, writing is very, like you said, cathartic. And also it is, something that can help you unpack some stuff that you have not dealt with in a while. You get to going, and next thing you know, you find yourself going down that slope or into that dark closet, and you decide to bring it up. And it's been a long time since you've dealt with this, but guess what? You're writing and just keep going with it. Just keep going with it. Have you ever found yourself that way, either of you, Neil or Ro? Where you just started writing something that kind of took on a life of its own and brought up some stuff that you weren't, necessarily prepared to deal with at the moment, but you dealt with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I think every writer will have those moments. Well, yeah. When encounter that, and things take a lot of times a story just takes a life of its own. Your book could just take a life of its own, just goes into another direction, and there you go. You look at it and say, yeah, didn't expect to go that way, but it goes that way, and you deal with that there.
Yeah.
And I think as far as like writing a novel, your characters begin to speak to you after a while. Like, I know if I start a book and then I put it a step away from it for a few weeks, I have to wait till the characters start to speak to me again, because I'm a plotter. I'll sit down and plot out everything. But then there's those times it was like, would this character really do this? Yeah, and everybody, when you say that as a writer, they're like, that don't make no sense. It's a bunch of stuff you're making up. But I'm like, no, it really does.
Yeah.
Because you spend so much time creating these people, and most of the time they're developed from somebody you already know.
There you go.
Yeah, so it does. They do speak to you.
I tell people all the time, we talk about cultural diversity, and we talk about how people come from various cultures, and you just don't know what a person has dealt with, or what they know, or what they've dealt with, whatever. And so one of the examples I use when I do my little class there is I ask people, how did folks in your family deal with shoes that needed to be stretched? They were too tight. And so this is an old, long, far back Southern thing in my family anyhow. And I was amazed at how many people, there were not a lot, but a few people who actually knew immediately, boom, what I was referring to. And I'm like, what? And they said, yeah, we in our family too. So how did they stretch shoes? How did the people in your family stretch shoes that needed to be stretched? And did you ever have to stretch shoes? Too tight?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know. Now, see, made me go back and think about school clothes for me. My mother was a domestic, and I don't ever remember shoes being too small, but I remember my mother kind of making a deal. There was a lady that she used to work for. Her husband was a dentist, so
Mhm.
they were fairly well off. And my mother would make a deal with her that before the start of the school year, she would clean her house. And they lived in a fairly large house in Squirrel Hill, which is
Mhm.
kind of like a ritzy part of the of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And she would clean her entire house. I mean, like scrub clean. I don't mean a light cleaning. I mean like baseball
Mhm.
on her hands and knees, taking curtains down, washing down walls, windows, and all of that. And it would take her an
Mhm.
entire week all by herself.
Wow.
School clothes for me, so I don't remember, shoes. And
Okay.
I don't believe, like, I believe my mother always bought me new shoes, but I
Mhm.
remember what she did for school clothes.
Well, new shoes were ones that usually had to be stretched. It was so funny, and at least what I remember. Neil, did you remember anything weird about stretching shoes or anything like that as you were growing up?
Say stretching shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shoes a little bit too tight, and so you wanted to,
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think shit. I don't think especially back in no time. I don't think anybody didn't experience that.
I know I did many a time. But
Yeah.
it's interesting. As I'm listening to the older folks in my family talk about it one day, and they said something that I've never forgotten. I said, what? And they said, you pee in the shoe and let it stay overnight. I said, what? And that used to stretch that level. Now we're talking about some real poor folks from down to there. So they
Yeah.
would pee in the shoe and stretch that bad boy out before you brush it out. But they said that urine would stretch that shoe out. But so I'm teaching this course up at Hack, and I must have said this thing, that's been 10 years or more, I'm sure, longer than that. But anyhow, every now and then someone will say, oh, you pee in the shoe. I'm like, how'd you know that? That was backwoods stuff. Hey, I can't go and buy nothing, whatever. And they found out that urines, would stretch the leather. I'm like, I never did. But now you'd have to clean that shoe out, right? Oh, yeah, of course you clean the shoe out. Well, what? But yeah, that's a cultural thing. That sounds so ridiculous, whatever. But there are many people who can relate to that. And you start talking about eating the pig from the rooter to the what is it? Rooter to the fruiter, or whatever they used to say.
Mhm.
Like that. You eat every piece. People are like, you do what? Eat pig's feet. Some people come from cultures that was so repulsive to them. There's a whole bunch of people in this world who've eaten every part of the pig. Not me, of course, but because I ain't doing it, but other people do. So my point is that there's so many various cultural things that if you think about it, as you're writing a story and you just think about the cultural nuances that and you start adding some of that in, you're actually teaching as you write. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're doing research and this and that, and you can make your characters so much more interesting by using some of that way out, far out. I have a book, by the way, and I'd have to find it now because we moved so many darn times. But it talked about that kind of stuff from the African American, all these various what do you call them, customs and things that we did that were unusual that people could use as story fillers. That'd be really interesting.
Well, writing for another culture, I learned so much about the Sudanese culture
Oh,
in
okay.
this book for Hajir. I mean, I've got like notebook after notebook of research, you know,
Mhm.
and even looking at dialogue differently, you
Tell us a
know.
little bit about not Hajir herself because we got to get her on there. She is such a fascinating
Oh,
person
I
and
know, I
everything.
know,
Yeah,
I know. I mean, I was watching her videos, and one of the ways I learned about, like, even in the manner in which she speaks, because she does have an accent,
yeah.
was to go on, like, literally stalk her IG page to write dialogue,
The only person I know that always says IG page, and I got to think for a minute. IG page.
yeah,
Oh, that's
Instagram page, like,
right.
'cause she's always on Instagram, and to
Uh-huh.
really come up with that dialogue of like, how do I make it genuine to her? Literally
Uh-huh.
go in there and I would just like watch a video and I would rewatch it and listen to how she said things, and then thinking about like, of course, her parents are deceased, but language acquisition comes a lot from what you learn as a child listening to your parents. So
That's right.
there were certain things that how she would say things, I was like, oh, that's how I would, because I come from like a Southern background.
Mhm.
I realized when I first started writing, it was like more of a Southern. I was like, no, like my father would have never said dear one, but her father would have said dear one,
Okay.
my little dear one. And I thought, wow, because I've heard, even the way she speaks, it's very, the English is broken, but it's a very formal broken English, if
Very
that
formal
makes
broken
sense.
English. Let me take a second
Yeah.
to say hello to the Zill. The Zill, how you doing?
I was
Hi, good
There you
night.
go. All right. There's that
Night, everyone.
poetic voice. How you doing, girl?
Good. Good.
her and them
Good,
cheekbones.
good. You say?
I told her, I said, her and those cheekbones. She has the most beautiful bone structure.
Cheekbones. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're on. Hope you're reading tonight for us and everything. And that's what we haven't done yet. By the way, what time is it, man? We should get to rolling. I don't even know what time it is. Let me see. It is 8:16 already. Okay. All right, good. Still have a good time. But anyhow, yeah, good stuff. So that cultural dimension is really important. We were talking about how we interject cultural things into writings and how to make stories much more exciting, characters much more exciting, that kind of thing. And you coming from Trinidad, there are a lot of various cultural nuances, I guess, that you could So talk about this for a minute. If you were going to tell a story and you wanted to make one of your characters from your culture of being Trinidadian, and you wanted to talk about food, what kind of things would you mention as far as food is concerned in one of your characters that might be different that we wouldn't know about?
Well, the food is like different Caribbean taste, different food. Like for instance, like for curry, we use a lot of curry. We use roti, curry chicken, roti. Dal is another thing. Dal is the yellow split peas that you boil very soft. So it comes it's like that. That's why they call it dal. And you season it up to taste. There is pilau, there is callaloo, crab, and callaloo. There is well, Sunday is a treat because everybody likes Sunday food. Sunday food comprises of rice, chicken, either stew or baked, macaroni pie, which you all call mac and cheese, but we say macaroni pie, and callaloo and potato salad. Sunday does be like a big meal, and Saturdays normally is like a soup day where we cook West Indian soup. We make pigtails. Some people do pigtail soup, chicken foot soup.
Chicken foot soup?
Yeah.
I'm not with it.
They said it helps the chicken foot helps with your knees, the cartilage, the knees.
My mom used to eat chicken feet, period. She boiled them things. Oh, no.
My Aunt Luke still used to fry them.
That's interesting, though. That's great.
Yeah, it's really, and sometimes we make chicken foot sauce. It's like you boil it out and you season it up with water, with a seasoned water. So it tastes a lot of spice in it. And a lot of people eat it,
Okay. Well, you did say a lot, not all. Because I would be not in the lot.
Yeah. Then they also
Neil,
they like blood pudding. I don't know if you always eat that, but
I used to
eat it. I used to eat it a lot, and when I heard what it was, I stopped.
What is it? What is blood pudding?
My father used to make that.
The pig blood, I think.
Oh, it's pig blood?
It's
yeah.
And what else? Pig blood and what else?
My father used to make it, and it's basically, you know what hedgehog cheese is, don't you?
I heard about it, but I don't know what it is.
Well, this is a lot finer. Like he would make it out of pig's liver, kidneys, and he would put it through a grinder. But literally, you're leaving a lot of the blood in it, and you're forming it to make like it's more like a pudding than a meat.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and it comes. He would make it in like a roll. You cook it, but it still has a lot of the blood in it, and it's called blood pudding. But he would make it out of basically more of the liver than anything. It was just gross.
Good God.
But it was full of, like, I guess, high in protein, and yeah, it was gross looking.
Oh, man.
I've had a lot of.
Jeez. Now, Neil, come on, brother. Tell me that you don't eat that stuff.
No, I don't.
I mean, good mugger. But you know what, though, but it's cultural, right? It's
Yeah.
It's cultural. There's a lot of people who love it. You know, I mean, I couldn't even stand the smell of chitlins. Oh my God, chitlins and pig feet and all that stuff. I never ate that stuff. Never. Oh, people in my family, they love it. I don't even like hot sauce. So I'm one of these finicky people. I don't even like hot sauce. Everybody else put hot sauce in everything, you know. Yeah. But you know, you spice up your story though when you can talk about stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, hey, it makes the characters much more interesting, you know. Yeah, so okay, cool.
I one day I will do a poem with that, with just the different delicacies of the culture of, you know, with food and stuff.
Yeah.
That's with food.
And you call it blood pudding, right?
Yeah.
Blood pudding, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
blood pudding. I used to really eat that because my stepmother used to make it so nice and season it up so nice. I used to really eat it, and when I heard what it's made of, I stopped.
Just stop, yeah. Yeah, that'll do something to you. Yeah, absolutely. But let's do this here again. You know, Brother Chris, he brings out these wonderful videos, and so, you know, makes us think and all that. And I know he puts them together, and I don't want him to, you know, do all this and then we don't use them. So let's go to that second video that Brother Chris Thomas put together. He usually puts together for us. And so let's see what he has in store this time around. And our theme tonight is frenemies and stuff like that.
And this is actually Dr. Gadsden. Not sure if you can see it as of yet. We're going to be interviewing Brother Neil Owens, award-winning author, on August the 6th at 5 p.m. Now, I'm not sure if he saw it yet. I did inbox it to him, but this is just a sneak peek of that interview on the 6th of August, sir.
All right. Well, listen, we got Brother Neil with us.
My first time seeing it, yes. I haven't had a chance to see.
That's a nice poster, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Nice.
Brother Chris pulled that together.
I sent it to you too, Neil.
Okay, let me check.
And you got to excuse me. I got a special guest in the background, so my apologies.
Oh no, but yeah, tell us hello.
I'm gonna send him where I'm gonna be on the 20th.
Okay, please.
Good.
Okay.
Excellent.
Maria and I will be here.
So here we go. Good. Fake friends.
I ran into some old friends the other day. Had a little conversation. That's what they had to say. One dude was like, "Hey, best friend, where you been at?" I was like, over here chilling on my grown woman. I ain't really looking to lose focus, so I hope y'all understand. He was like, "Nah, I ain't mad. I'm just trying to see because I'm confused. How you gonna toss us all to the side after all that we all done been through?" I was like, man, to be honest, it's just some people that had to go. Y'all flight was moving a little bit too early. I didn't have time to let you know. But I did tip my hat to y'all, waved goodbye while the plane was going up and nobody was looking out the window. You see, I had to grow. Y'all boy was moving too slow, and I believe it was due to all the snow. Now, I'm just saying these things in subliminal because I don't want to put your business out there like that, you know. But I hope you catch what I'm saying. The situation applies and go and let it flow. If the shoe the perfect size, I suggest you let it grow. Cause see, ain't no need to ask me why I feel in my heart. Y'all boy already know. Now, ain't no love loss. I'm finally healing up, getting my weight back from all that blood loss. You see, I found your knife. It was buried in my spine. And you know, the hardest thing for me to do was to give up loving you because I loved you for a long time. I called you my friend. Low-key, you was wanting my girl. We had these conversations before. You said it was the liquor that brought you in that world. And it got me to thinking because every time that we was drinking, I was peeping you. You was sipping and you was wanking. One thing you didn't notice is that my heart was sinking. I ain't going to lose you, not over no female, but you know, time, it does tell. and you showed your hand. Yeah, you dropped the ball. But I thank God I had a friend across town who was able to make a call because it was like 5 in the morning. And I was moaning and groaning. My eyes was rolling because I done swallowed some pills and I was leaving. But I thank God for blessings in due season. I was screaming, Lord, just let me go. What I didn't know that God had another soul and an angel on the phone telling me no. Man, listen, don't feel some type of way. You're not the only one I had to deviate from. You know, I had so many chickens on my back, it was like I was made of breadcrumbs. You know, people can be toxic sometimes. You just gotta drop them. Ain't no need to leave no note. Ain't no need to let them know. And ain't no need to feel guilty for trying to find your soul. I feel great that I'm finally in control. Think about it, man. I was talking to Jesus the other day. He said, baby, where I'm taking you, some people can't go. And even though it hurts, even though it feels like you're losing your heart, it's breaking, foundations are being shaken. I'm reshaping some things. I'm changing some things. And one of the things that had to change was my friends. Peace.
Mm.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good.
I like her. Yeah. See.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm. Good storytelling and broke it down. And
Yeah,
you know,
she broke it
you,
down real good.
mhm.
Mhm.
Used
Yeah,
sort of the street language, the street, but when she mentioned the snow, I knew what she was talking about. She wasn't talking about no snow. She was talking about that white stuff.
yeah, right,
It
right.
goes up in the
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah.
But I like the way
That's
she said, I ain't
right.
trying
That's
to
right.
do in front of you. Yeah, it was good.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
right. So that's what I mean by authors, how they could put little things in there and subtle things. Yeah, for the reader to bring that out. What that's
Mhm.
like, picture what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff, man. So, by the way, I don't know, Ready. One of the things that's going to happen on the 19th, are you able to host the workshop on the 19th of July? Will you be around? You're muted right now. You're muted, bro. Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always mute during the video. Yeah,
Mhm.
I should be here. I mean, if the creek
Okay.
don't rise, you know.
Yeah, I understand about the creek now. You know, and yeah, so okay. And
Okay, I'll
brother,
put it
you
in my
know what?
calendar.
And I've never asked Brother Neil to host. I don't know. You would like to host one night, Neil?
I'm sure I can do it one night.
I appreciate that, man. And I know I'd love to have my sister as well, but I know she comes in a little bit later because the schedule's like that. I get it.
Well,
But
no,
no, that'd be great
my
if you can.
Zoom has been like that. I started at 5 minutes to 7, but my Zoom has been acting like
Oh,
it
listen.
takes me that long to get on there sometimes.
Yeah, I have a little issue myself at times. I understand. So
Yes,
yeah,
I
so
just
that's I like to do that. Switch up sometimes, and we can have different hosts, that kind of thing. So if Ro, you can do the 19th, and then my brother. Let me see. Actually, do. So we're looking at because I'm gonna be on the road. We're doing that piece with Messiah University. We won't be back until the 21st, I think they said. But anyhow, that's gonna be great. And then next week is what? The 12th, right? That's the 12th. Okay.
Gosh, next week is the 12th of July already. Didn't we just start?
Already, I'm telling you. Isn't that something? This is the 5th. So would you like to do the 12th, Neil?
12th of August.
Well, I was looking at July here.
Oh, 4th of
Yeah.
July, which is that's this weekend, right?
Next weekend.
I mean next weekend.
Mhm.
Well,
That's if you're around now,
yeah. Yeah, it's on a Friday. Next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I can
You
do
want me
that.
to do the
All right.
19th?
Yeah, you did the 19th. Yep, if you will. Yeah.
What happened to I wrote the poem?
Huh?
Remember last week we were supposed to have a theme and I wrote the poem, What's at Stake? Oh, it's waiting.
Yeah.
Did you write one too, Lieutenant?
I forgot about
Yeah, I wrote the poem about you were having this theme. I was like, oh, I better hurry up. I wrote the poem about what's at stake. I was like, he hasn't even mentioned it yet.
I just made mine up as we're talking.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Oh
I'll tell you
no.
what,
Yeah,
bro, let's do this then. Can you make that the theme? Well, can you make that part of the theme for the 19th?
Yes.
No, you know what? You did your poem for the night. Let's hear it for the night. You know, you did the work. You did the work. Go ahead.
I was the student who did the homework.
I know you always that one that has the curve all messed up. Doggone it. No, go to do it for us. Go ahead and do it for us.
Yeah.
Can you
Who was on last week and we started talking to who was it? Sally, and she didn't even come back.
Oh, that's right, Sally. Yeah, she was on last week.
We
She
talked
was.
about having this theme and we wrapped it all up together.
We
and
sure did.
What's at stake? So it was like the next day, where was I? I started it at work and I was like, I gotta have my poem done for Friday. So I got on. I'm like, Reverend Gadsden ain't even talked about the theme.
I know. And you know, one of the things that I've been thinking about because they used to do something every day almost on Facebook or whatever. I kind of got away from that. And so I'm gonna expand that because I tend to forget too. But anyhow, yeah, I got something in mind. But anyhow, we'll be talking. But share with us tonight because you're absolutely right. And you did the homework. So let's hear it. Let's hear this.
I won my A.
You got the A. You got it. You're the only one that wrote it.
It's called What's at Stake?
What's at stake? I like it. Okay.
Daddy was Geechee and Mama had a high school diploma. Together they took their know-how and headed to the land of, yes, ma'am, I can clean your house today, and my back is strong enough to haul that steel and more. Starvation, loss of Black pride from the ancestors who had grit, determination, and spitfire preservation, burned into their bones by the master's whip and the backlash of the old Jim Crow's law. Men wearing white robes and donning hoods that hid their grimacing faces. That's what was at stake. I was my daddy's best girl and Mama was his first. When Daddy put his hand down and told me no to finding my place on the stage, find yourself a job that any good Black woman can put food in her mouth and call herself free. Put yourself under the master's thumb. That's what's at stake. Daddy's girl I am and will always be. I sit here with pen and paper and hand, leaving marks of no regrets and pieces of my pain left for future freedom revolutionaries. That's what's at stake. I write on, I press on. That's what's at stake.
Wow. That's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You get an A for sure. I'll tell you.
Yes, she got the A.
Absolutely. Man, oh
I have to
man.
work on mine.
Mhm.
That was
And
the theme, right?
theme.
The theme was What's at Stake?
What's at
Mhm.
stake? Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we talked about. And Rose the only one that remembers. Ain't that something unbelievable? But that's cool though. That really good. So when you heard the theme and then you went in that direction, tell us why.
Well,
How did you come up with
I
it?
just started thinking about things that in my life that people had told me what was at stake. Like I thought about, I started it off talking about my father was Geechee and my mama had a high school diploma and they left the South at such an early age. They didn't know each other, but what was at stake was freedom for them. They were part of the Great Migration. So it
Yeah.
started off with that. And then, they got to the North and my mother was a domestic and my father worked in the steel mill and they worked hard. What was at stake? Surviving. Come to some place and they had to survive. And then, going back thinking, I gotta do this. I gotta make this work because, I got family down south. I got ancestors who struggled for my freedom. So that's what's at stake. you know. And then I went on to think about like all that they had gone through to get from the South to the North, you know, the Ku Klux Klan, the Jim Crow. That was what was at stake. And then things settled down and they had me, and I was a daddy's girl, you know. And I remember, because I really want to have done something in theater arts. I wanted to go into theater. And my father told me, no, because you, as a Black woman, you'll never have a job. So what was at stake for him was making sure that his only daughter had a good job. So that was at stake. And then for me, writing is one of those things where it's like, when I leave the face of the earth, for me, you know, putting a voice out into the universe about things that I see. So what's at stake? Not having a voice.
All right, good stuff. Go ahead, Will. Very well done. Very well done. Yeah. So, and I know, Nazil, I'm glad you joined us as always. And I see you rolling along with the show. Keep it up, you know, and everything. So do you have a piece for us tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Let's hear it.
She wrote it tonight. She wrote it 5 minutes ago.
No, I
So
wrote
what's
it.
that state?
It's really something that happened today.
See, I told you.
All right, I entitled it, He Saw No Color. He saw my long locks hanging loose as he examined my wrap that held together this masterpiece. He commented how fine it looked. He knew a little bit of the Rasta culture, or the Rastafarian, the Black culture that is high in royalty. He was not scared of me, but just admired my beauty. He had no whip, nor lynching rope. He saw no color. But me, in my magnificent state, smiled and blushed like a girl on a first date. He needed my help as we walked together. Back then, he couldn't walk beside me. He saw me as a show to get money. We couldn't smile back then or greet each other with respect. But he saw no color. He saw a woman in need of respect, a woman to be compensated for her trials, a woman to be loosed from her pain, a woman that was hurt and bruised from the plantations, who was a mistress to his kind, who was a Black lover in his bed, who was a caretaker for his kids. He came back to say thank you for your help because he saw no color.
Okay. Very good. You wrote that today.
Yes, this guy, he works in the school where I work, a white guy, and he, well, like everybody took off today, so nobody, it wasn't hard, it didn't have nobody, so I was the only one in my department, and this person keeps saying hello, and then I saw him and he said he's looking for the fire panel, right? Because he's a safety officer, and he saw my locks. And he went crazy over the locks. He admired the locks and he loved it so much. And, you know, and I was so shocked because he caught me by surprise, you know, because a white guy telling you he loved his locks, he loved the, you know, the Rasta look and all this thing, and, you know. So when he finished everything, he came back and he said, thank you so much. You're such a beautiful woman. Thank you so much. So then I said, okay, that's a poem right there.
That's good.
I just kind of emphasize how, you see, look how he complimented, you know, and he saw no color. He saw no color, you know, he was white, but he didn't see me as a Black person. He saw me as a woman and he respected me, and he, you know, he was cool.
Now, maybe chocolate was his favorite color. What are you talking about? Like that chocolate. You probably down in Hershey right now. Searching. That's good stuff, though. That's good writing. Thank you.
Yeah, so, you know, it's like comparing back then, we weren't like that to them. You know, they just saw us as money to put us on the stage and auction us off.
Amen.
They didn't care.
Very good. Very good.
Still, just go ahead and say it. You just got it that way, girl. Just
There
say
you go.
it. There you go.
Yeah. Now, if he comes back again tomorrow, we got a problem. No, I'm just joking. Brother Neil, did you want to share a little something from your writing tonight? You know, I know your book's coming out and you're going to be interviewed here on the, you said the 6th, right? 6th of August, right on. Okay. All right.
No, I really I'm listening and I'm enjoying
Okay.
what I'm hearing, and I personally would like to hear some more.
I hear you. Right on. Right on. Okay. Well, look, we got the two poets here tonight, or the storytellers, poets, however you want to do it. But Ro, did you want to share another piece now, and then maybe Bazille one more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And I know we have a little bit of time here left, so that'd be great. Yeah.
I got this other one. It's funny because I'm a notebook person. I put stuff in all these notebooks, but let's see. I don't have a title for this one. I very seldomly not have a title. But this one is called, well, this one starts off with, I told you who I was and you didn't believe me. You said I was better than that. We were both war-torn, our battle scars worse than most. Despite all of our open wounds, you chose not to leave me alone. You pushed me to the top of my emotional hill and forced me to look into the enemy's eyes. You were the first to call me brave. You were the first to raise your fist in solidarity, to celebrate all my victories. You called me blessed and showed me that the world would have a small hole in it, its core, if it was not for my existence. You empowered me to do hard things. You are my greatest protector, cheerleader, teacher, and lover. This thing that lingers between us is like hot, molten volcano ash that flows through my joints and lubricates all my parts. You see through me like the clear water in a glass jar. I'm not sure if my heart would continue to seek its beat if you had not come along. A new me has emerged. You told me who I am, and I believed you.
Wow. Go ahead now. And I like the lubricating and the this and that. That's good stuff. Good imagery.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
When did you write that piece? Was that something recently or?
I wrote that the other day. I was doing a LaSalle.
Okay. All right. You gotta write every day to be with Lizelle now. That's good stuff. Way to go. Yeah. So, Lizelle, did you want to share another piece?
Yeah. Actually, this is, let me see, Dream. Let me see which one I want to share. Echoes of Love. Okay, this one is just a short piece. I have to submit it in with the podcast that I'm in. So we had to do some poem writing to submit in an anthology. But this is just one of it that so I said I might as well. It's a very short piece. It's called Whispers of Nature.
I missed the title. It's called what again?
Whispers of Nature.
Okay.
Whispers, yeah. Whispers.
I like that title.
Yeah. All right, so it goes like this. I saw the mountains of my trials as one sketched on paper. In my mind, as I climbed, I wrote the vision, the pinnacle of my view, where landscape stretched across fields of green grass and trees that swayed and danced in the wind. Whistled a tune that carried me to the ocean side. As sailboats crossed the seas, waves crashed. The sea breeze knows my name as it echoes, telling me stories of what lies beneath. Footprints in the sand that told my story and others, we belong here, as the waves tried to wipe us out. The golden rays of light so pure as birds sing to the sunset, as the peeping moon silhouette shadows that whispers in the dark. That's it.
Very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So what inspired that? I gotta ask.
Well, though that is one of the team. Whispers is about 7 different teams, so you just choose which one you want to write about. So I wrote on all 7. So this is just one of them. Yeah.
Same things. Okay. All right. Very pretty well. Very nicely put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool stuff. You know, let me see, what is coming up? There's something coming up. Ooh. Okay, wait now, I can't think of it right now. But I do know that Janet Jackson is here, I think tomorrow night. Is that right? At Hershey Park?
Mm-hmm.
Janet
Wow.
Jackson,
Nice.
along with Nelly. And I hope they have a sold out concert because they're both of them are excellent artists and everything. But yeah, so they will be here, and she's on her world tour doing her thing. Brother Dolly as well. They've been playing it quite a bit in terms of commercials and all that kind of stuff. Haven't heard, I mean, I'm not a teen anymore, but anyhow, haven't heard a whole lot of buzz about it. But I hope people really go out and support, whenever they bring in, especially our acts, Black acts like that you want to make sure that people actually support, because they won't bring them back if they don't, so hopefully they will. Also, we have, a couple things coming up. Hope everybody had a good 4th. We didn't talk about that. Everybody have a good 4th of July?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody do a
That's
cookout or
good.
anything? What happened? What y'all do? I told you I went to the movies. We went to see that wonderful movie called the Song. What is it called? Song of Hope. Yeah, anyhow. Check that out. I'm telling you, check it out.
Oh, was it good? I see the rating it up.
Fantastic. I really am raving about that movie. For a lot of different reasons. It touched me, but I will tell you that I thought it was just well done. Yeah, and what I like about it is
something
the real
that
story.
happened in real.
Huh?
It's something that happened in real life.
Yeah, in real life. Yeah. Possum Trot. And I forget, did they say it's in Florida or Georgia? I forget but anyhow, that's the name of the little town, Possum Trot. Anyhow, but good movie. So, so anyhow, but I hope everybody had a good 4th, I know some people don't celebrate the 4th now that we know it was a July, they said, and I'm like, where they going with that? But anyhow, they bringing that down, and everybody, that didn't really happen that way. And there's who else spoke on 4th of July? Frederick Douglass did a piece on the 4th of July and how it was not our holiday and why. And so a lot of people recite that as well. Good stuff. But anyhow, so time do we have, Brother Chris? I know you had 4. I think we saw 2 good ones at this point, right? Do we see 2? I think you and I saw 1 together. Then I know we saw the young sister. She did 1. I think we just saw the 2. I think all 3 of us. Ro was there too. Yeah. So I think we only saw 2. So can we see one more video that you have prepared for us, Brother Chris? And then we'll finish up tonight in grand fashion and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, fake friends. Spoken word poetry by. Okay.
Lately, I just feel so alone. I just feel like my world is surrounded by frenemies. Your enemies who pretend to be your friends. I just don't know who to trust anymore. It's like everywhere I go, I just see faces with plastics. It's funny how snakes don't hiss anymore. They call you babe, bro, sis, or friend. And how the world is covered with monsters with friendly faces and angels full of scars. And how someone can be your friend today and enemy tomorrow. And how fake is the new trend. I never thought our friendship would be this way. So draining and demanding. It was only a matter of time till I realized how fake you are. I dedicated myself to you. Told you things that I wouldn't even say to anybody, regretting the fact that I don't trust anybody but you. Now my secrets are out. I just feel naked every time when I pass a crowd. Now I realize how you used me. First, you came to me when you needed help. Secondly, you always put me down. There was never in a single moment you complimented me, telling me that I'm beautiful. You always pretended to be teasing me playfully, which was your way of making yourself feel better because you did not feel pretty enough. Thirdly, I was your emotional punching bag. You only came to me when you needed help, but when I needed you, you were nowhere to be found. When I needed a shoulder to cry on. Fourthly, you only knew me on a superficial level. You only knew my name, my favorite music, and favorite food, and then that's it. You didn't know me on a deeper level. You don't know what makes me, me. I've gotten so used to your fake character that fake people don't surprise me anymore. I now realize that a lot of people are great at being fake. I guess you couldn't maintain that fake character long enough that you exposed yourself for who you really are. You just couldn't maintain that fake image. I never thought that fake is one of the qualities of being a friend. Friend, huh? I just don't know what that word means anymore.
We said the theme tonight would be frenemies. Brother Chris, you stuck true to your word. And that was a good piece to it. I mean, you know, well put together. And we said, you know, dark, but at the same time, you know, right on the money for a lot of reasons. You know, it does happen, especially young people, I think, get caught up in that a lot. They want to so belong, but it can happen any age, but especially young people, because they want to so belong to and be accepted. Let's put it that way. That they sometimes give away way too much information, or they don't see the person for who they really are, and you know, that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, they're outside. One of the sad realities is I was listening to a wonderful song today, and it hit me. I said, who's singing? I said, oh my goodness. It was Phyllis Hyman. And Phyllis Hyman, as you know, at the height of her career, which is interesting, she committed suicide. And she's just absolutely gorgeous. She great singing voice. Came here to Harrisburg and did a wonderful, you know, speech down at the Crown Plaza. I got a chance to interview her because of Richard Utley, who has a show on The Voice here. And Utley introduced me to her. We went upstairs and sat down, and she gave me like an hour, you know, just to kind of interview her. And then within a month, she was gone, maybe 2 weeks really, or something like that. She, you know, it's like, wait a minute. That fantastic speech you gave and all this, and just a delightful person to be around. But she had a lot of pain based on some fake enemies and associates. People did not have her best interests at heart, and she just checked out. You know, you just wish someone could have gotten to her. You know, they're doing a tribute to her. One of these stations is, I think it's on Sirius XM, or maybe WDAS out of Philly. Because I was listening to that today too, and they said they're going to, I think it's Saturday or Sunday, doing a big tribute to her, you know. And they do this for people who have passed on once a month or something like that, but their work still lives. And I'm like, Phyllis Hyman was all that, you know. But it is amazing how people can so disappoint you that you can just kind of, yeah.
She was she was definitely super talented, no question about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And apparently not well, you know, cared for by some of the people that should have been as close to her. She was let down by
taking advantage.
Taking advantage of her business wise. You know, love relationships weren't going well. Just so many things. You never know what people are going through. You know,
using kindness as a weakness and all that kind of stuff.
That's right. That's right. People will do it. Take their kindness for weakness, no question about it. And when that, you know, sometimes when that dollar's involved, you'd be surprised what people do and say.
Man.
Yeah, man, oh man. So,
no
well, look, we only have about 6 minutes left, or so. So, you know, anybody got any announcements you want to make? Definitely the book, Brother Neil Owens coming out with that wonderful book. And if you don't know, now you know. On August the 6th, he will be doing. Is it August the 6th? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's August 6th.
Doing an interview here, okay. And then you're going to be down in DC. What day?
August 3rd.
August August 3rd, okay, at that one, what's the name of the bookstore again?
It's Mahogany Books at the National Harbor.
Okay,
Hmm.
they're setting off fireworks over here, either that or they're shooting their brothers. I'm gonna find out which one real quick. But anyhow, okay. So I want to get down there for that, man. I'm gonna talk to Pat tonight about that, coming down on August the 3rd. To check you out, support you, and also to check out that bookstore, man. Yes, indeed. Okay. And anything, Lazille, up in New York area, anything coming up for yourself or?
Well, just that anthology thing that I'm working on, and I'm supposed to be part of a book signing in August with the book I did in 22 with Welcome to America. Supposed to,
Okay.
but I'm
Wonderful.
not sure as yet with that.
Okay.
And also, I wanted to find out, I don't know if you all saw me doing the lives. I just wanted your feedback on how you all find it.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, let me get to Ro real quick and then we can give us a couple comments. Ro, anything coming up?
Maria and I will be at the Big Hat. It's called What's Happening to a Dream Deferred. It's the Big Hat Tea. It's going to be at the West Shore Educational Center on July the 20th from 1 to 4. We'll be vending there.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. Okay, the Big Hat Tea. Go ahead now.
Nice.
Inspire personal development invite you too. Okay. The inaugural Big Hat Tea. And then you see Brother Neil Owens. Okay, the book launch.
Everybody is starring.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Excellent, excellent. So Nazil, you were asking about feedback for your we got a couple minutes here, feedback for your show.
Yeah.
I know Neil, you've been on, I think, before, and I've been on before now. Talking about the powder room.
Well,
Yeah.
I do the lives on mornings, well, normally I'm walking into work, and so I just normally do the lives and stuff. But so far, from what I hear, everybody like the topic that I'm talking. It's just basically general topics that I share.
Okay.
That's
So
very
if you all
good
heard
topics.
it. Huh?
Very good topics.
Okay, so you're listening.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be
Thank you.
checking it out.
Yeah.
I have as well. Yeah.
Today I did one with neighbors, something you can have some kind of neighbors.
Well, let me ask you a question. Because you're walking and talking, and so obviously people are seeing you. What are people saying to you? What feedback have you gotten from the people?
They normally will chip in and said, that is true, that is correct, what you're saying is right.
Okay.
And they will do the thumbs up, the little emojis and all these different things. So, but hearing them in person, they said they like what I'm doing. They just keep telling me, keep going with it. I never thought I'd be doing that, but it's all thanks to you all, because you all keep telling me and I was kind of nervous to be, but.
Well, no, keep doing it and perfect it. Just keep this and keep doing it. If it's working for you, work it. Just work it.
I'll
Good
keep
stuff.
doing it. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Good. Well, listen, let's pop on off tonight. I appreciate everybody coming on. And hope again that you have a great weekend coming up as well. So next week though, Brother Neil, if you don't mind, just stepping in to do the hosting for us. And if you have any ideas, anybody want to bring on whatever, it's wide open. Same thing with you, bro.
I wanted to say real quick, if you're up at 10 o'clock, go to IG and tune in to Raining Words Poetry. There's another poetry. Raining Words Poetry.
Raining Words Poetry. Okay.
Yeah, it's on
That's
IG.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Raining
Words program.
Poetry. Yeah.
It's on every Friday night?
It's on every Friday night at 10 o'clock. She gives a weekly prompt. You respond to the weekly prompt, and then her and another poet called Poet Addiction Her name is Tabitha, and then Poet Addiction. And if they pick your poem, they'll read it.
Oh, nice, okay.
Yeah, so I'm participating in that one too.
What is that? Rain? Say that. What is that again? Rain and what?
Raining Words Poetry.
Raining Words
Raining
Poetry.
Words.
Okay.
It comes on at 10 o'clock. You'll see her online.
And, okay.
Okay. So just go to IG, Raining Words Poetry.
Poetry.
To pop up. Okay, excellent.
Okay.
That's a good
All
find. Thank you. Thanks for
I'll
sharing.
check it out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, God bless everybody. Have a great evening and weekend, and hope to see you next week. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Brother Chris.
Okay.